All right, it's Friday, so you know what that means. It means San Francisco 49ers practice reports are in, and we are getting a very strong indication of who is and who is not going to be available for this upcoming game against the Bucks. It's a big game. You know, with the Eagles' loss, they're now 4-2. The 49ers are tied atop the NFC with the Bucks being the other 4-1 team, and I believe it's the Lions are the other 4-1 team. So it's going to be an important one. And speaking of the Bucks aren't doing so hot either on their end. The Buccaneers have already ruled out wide receiver Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, along with Bucky Irving. So three of their top receiving targets. You know, Bucky Irving is a running back, but he is used quite a bit out of the backfield. They do have probably one of the best backup running backs in the league in Rashad White, so they'll be okay. But obviously, they're going to be down their two studs. And as we know, Egbuka has been phenomenal as a rookie, and of course, Baker Mayfield still exists. So as long as those guys are available, they will have a chance to make an impact on this game. So the one that I'm waiting for is to hear more about Zion McCollum. He did not practice all week. He was seen yesterday in a sling. He's their starting cornerback, so I'm really curious to see what his availability is. I haven't seen anything yet on that, but let's talk about the latest updates at 49ers practice. According to Cam Inman, Mac Jones has returned to throwing today. So one of the things that was a storyline this week was Mac Jones was participating in practice. However, he wasn't throwing. It was Adrian Martinez, at least in the open portions of practice to the media. They're only available for like 15 minutes. And then they go inside. So we don't know what he does beyond that. But as it stands right now, it is a good sign that Mac Jones has returned to throwing during the individual portion of practice, which again is the strong indication that he is good and he will be your starting quarterback against the Bucks. He'll have an opportunity to go 4-0, I believe it is, on the season. Obviously, what that means is Brock Purdy is still working off to the side, so doing his rehab work. I do believe Brock Purdy is going to miss a couple weeks. So I don't necessarily anticipate him back against the Atlanta Falcons. There's a chance, but I doubt it at this point. And unfortunately, it does appear that Ricky Pearsall is trending towards being out in this game against the Bucks. Really stinks, you know, having Ricky miss these last 2 weeks. Ricky was trending phenomenally through the first 4 weeks. And really, this has only been the only negative that you could say anything about Ricky is just his availability is inconsistent at times. But other than that, we know he's a great wide receiver. So hopefully he as well will be able to return next week against the Falcons. We'll see how that goes. Also, too, some good news is that Jauan Jennings has returned to practice for his second straight day in a row. So that is a very, very strong indication that Jauan Jennings will be able to play in this game against the Bucks. So yes, unfortunate you'll be down down Ricky, but you'll get Jauan back to pair with, you know, good old KB. KB out there obviously was doing numbers against the Rams, and now he'll have a running mate. So that's good news. And then, you know, you have the combination of the Marcus Robinson, Jauan Jennings, and Kendrick Bourne. You know, the funny thing about those guys, none of them are burners. None of them are, you know, they're bigger bodied wide receivers. They're all kind of possession guys, but, you know, I think that works to Mac Jones' skill set and the way he plays quarterback. Precision timing, throwing with anticipation, throwing guys open, back shoulder throws, all those different types of things. Mac is great at that. So I think with what we saw earlier in the week with Mac not throwing, to me, that struck me as just precautionary. Just because when you look at what Mac Jones did on a short week, you know, coming out, I know he didn't play against the Jags, but, you know, he was a little nicked up, you know, from that Cardinals game. and then coming out and throwing. I think he had close to 60 pass attempts, if I'm not mistaken, against the Rams, because obviously basically how defenses are playing the 49ers right now is they're stacking the box, and they're saying we're gonna put numbers against your run game, and we're gonna force you to beat us through the air. So that's how the 49ers have had to operate early on in this season, and thankfully they've been successful. So we'll see if they can continue that success against the Bucks. I think this is a I think the 49ers have a chance in this one for sure. I think it's, very similar against the Rams. The Bucks are really hot right now. They're playing really great. Baker Mayfield's on fire. Their rookie wide receiver is an absolute stud. And again, I'm a Rashad White truther, so I think they're fine at running back. And, they have Tristan Wirfs. They're playing a backup tackle who's actually on our team last year when we went through our offensive line injury disaster where we had to sign guys off the streets and start them. Charlie Heck was one of them. He's not good. And he's a guy who's very large, like he's a big tackle, doesn't move well, doesn't have good bend, isn't fast, and so you could really take advantage of him. So the 49ers have the opportunity to get to Baker with guys like Bryce Huff and Sam Okwuonu. So we'll see. Maybe Michael Williams can make an impact as a pass rusher in this game. But overall, it does sound like the 49ers are starting to get healthier. And we'll see. Kyle Shanahan's going to be speaking to the media here in about 30 minutes, and we'll provide the injury, the status updates, and all of that coming up here for the San Francisco 49ers. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.